ASEAN, one of the world's most dynamic regions. Its 10 countries together comprise the 5th largest economy in the world and are home to more than 600 million people. To sustain growth and prosperity, ASEAN must scale up investments in infrastructure that is accessible and affordable. And with growing environmental challenges and a changing climate, the focus must be on green infrastructure that supports the Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals. But the financing needs are immense and current investment is falling short. Private capital will be essential in bridging the investment gap. How can ASEAN mobilize the volumes needed? In 2011, ASEAN member countries and the Asian Development Bank established the Regional ASEAN Infrastructure Fund. Today, the fund has invested $520 million for infrastructure in the region. In 2018, the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund created 2 new facilities as catalysts for inclusive and green infrastructure.
Malaysia menyokong inisiatif integrasi ASEAN dan mengiktiraf Dana Infrastruktur ASEAN iaitu AIF sebagai salah satu platform yang penting bagi menyokong pertumbuhan ekonomi di rantau ini.
The Inclusive Finance Facility will support critical infrastructure in Cambodia, Laos PDR and Myanmar in the spirit of ASEAN solidarity.
In the spirit of ASEAN, AIF is the biggest institution that we have, in which then we can do big things, and one of which would be the green financing. So I think it is very important.
The ASEAN Catalytic Green Finance Facility will promote green infrastructure that contributes to ASEAN countries' environmental and climate goals.
So the ACGF sits very well in that overall context of meeting the climate change greening imperatives as well as meeting the gap. Now the gap is quite huge. Both public and private sector need to work together very closely. So ADB's proposal is to do exactly that.
The ACGF combines resources from the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund and other development partners to de-risk green infrastructure projects and attract multiples of private capital for every development dollar spent.
The added value of ACGF is primarily in catalyzing a lot of investments from all sorts of different partners. By providing a pool of financing that can deal with the specific needs of every structure, you essentially create a lot more viable structures.
By supporting project structuring and de-risking, ACGF will help create pipelines of bankable green projects.
I think a vehicle like this can make those loans, parcel the cash flows up and securitize them, and by wrapping everything up, presenting it in a way that the institutions can understand, you're going to get their attention.
With these 2 facilities, the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund now stands ready to help ASEAN strive towards a greener, more equitable future.